Good evening, and welcome to the Cleo Edge Virtual Honors Reception and the presentation of the Cleo Edge Vernon E. Jordan Jr. Heritage Award. I'm Cassandra Sneed-Ogden, Chief Executive Officer of the Council on Legal Education Opportunity, Incorporated, better known as Cleo. In case you didn't have an opportunity to download tonight's program, we've included a link for you in the chat box. And no worries if it happens that you need to take another call. Tonight's program is being recorded. With the recent increase in the number of positive coronavirus cases across the country, we hope you're continuing to remain safe. Last spring, when we realized the long-term effects that this virus could have on our nation, we considered canceling tonight's event. While we all love a good party where we celebrate the accomplishments of our colleagues, our priority was ensuring the successful transition of Cleo's on-site summer programs to a safe virtual format. Having accomplished this goal with the help of our many supporters, we decided that it was important to continue the tradition of honoring those individuals, law schools, and organizations that share our vision. So here we are this evening in the comfort of our homes or offices, excited to be able to spend the next hour celebrating our honorees with you. Hopefully, you were able to view a collage of some of the 175 highly deserving awardees who were honored during Cleo's 50th anniversary in 2018 and 2019. Before I pass this virtual platform over to Cleo Advisory Council member Samantha Ahuja, I must acknowledge someone who could not be with us tonight, but who has provided invaluable personal assistance. Mr. Vernon E. Jordan, Jr. Mr. Jordan, after whom the Cleo Edge Heritage Award was named, became a trailblazer in the civil rights movement in the early 1960s. His efforts to end discrimination, increase voter registration, and change laws to support all Americans earned him several presidential and corporate board appointments. Tonight's Heritage Award recipient, Stacey Abrams, is just one example of the thousands following in his footsteps. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge tonight's sponsors, our benefactors, and the numerous friends and family members who have supported our programs over the last 50 plus years. Lastly, while you're enjoying this evening's event, please take a moment to socialize with Cleo. You can socialize with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, here's Samantha.
Only 49 more days till we can welcome a new year. And what a year 2020 has been. I can tell you that I did not have pandemic on my 2020 bingo card. The beginning of this year brought a multitude of challenges for everyone, including overcoming a sudden change in how Cleo connected with their students. While everyone was reeling with what the next 30, 60, and 90 days would bring, Cassandra, Linda, Leigh, Bernetta, Julie, and Monica quickly drafted a plan for transitioning all events with students, alumni, and receptions to an all-virtual outreach and platform for the near future. This required the coordination of various technology requirements, educational institutions, shift from in-person outreach to a fully online in combination with doing what Cleo does best, educating, mentoring, supporting, and guiding our next generation of legal minds. This year has been transformative for so many reasons, for so many people. And with all that change, Cleo pivoted in the method in which they deliver their services, but not their purpose. I'm always in awe of how the team remains steadfast in their mission and Cleo's purpose. It is because of their transformative thinking that Cleo continued to honor its mission without skipping a beat. The team, with the support of the board and the advisory council, has proven that every challenge can be overcome and that Cleo can effectively shift in any new normal. I am positive that many are looking forward to reflecting on 2020 in the rearview mirror. I know I am. But for Cleo, 2020 proved that the mission is more critical than the obstacle before them. The Cleo team rose to the challenge in 2020, and countless students and lawyers-to-be are the beneficiary of their dedication and purpose. And now we're going to hear from past Cleo participants.
Hello, my name is Chantel Abu Hamdan, and I am currently a 2L at the University of Idaho College of Law. I participated in Cleo's 2019 Pre-Law Summer Institute. Through this program, I learned everything from how to read and brief cases, to how to prepare for law school exams, to how to manage my time, work, and stress throughout law school. I was definitely more prepared for law school because of Cleo and more confident in my ability to excel. Because they help give a voice to the underrepresented in our communities. Helping people like me attend law school helps advance these interests that have been silenced for so long. I cannot say enough great things about Cleo. It has truly changed my life for the better, and I will forever be grateful. Thank you, Cleo.
Hi, my name is Josh Sene. I'm a criminal defense attorney in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was fortunate enough to attend Cleo back in the summer of 2016. Becoming an attorney is an uphill battle. It always has been and it always will be. But it's even more challenging for students of color because we lack things like access to education and academic resources. For a Samoan guy like myself, you need to be twice as smart to your white counterparts to be taken seriously in our profession. There's just no two ways about it. Cleo instilled a lesson that will never be taught in law schools, in that your persistence needs to be beyond measure. Like my Cleo alumni, I was reminded how blessed I was. I stand upon decades of hard work and family persistence over the generations. For instance, my grandmother was a janitor who worked in Hawaii for decades, who gave money to my mother to make sure I had a proper education. And my father was a truck driver who spent days away in order to make sure I had a good home. These are all the resources that I needed to push forward in the legal profession. I owe it to my future generations and my family members after me to capitalize upon their hard work and become the attorney that I envisioned. That is the most important lesson that Cleo has reminded me of. To those who are listening, you have several generations of your own family that have sacrificed for you to be in the position to attend law school and pass the bar and become certified and become a success in a profession never intended for you. My journey, like other alumni, were lucky enough to be pointed in this direction. Yes, joining the legal profession is hard, but it is worth it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Barbara Arnwine, President and founder of the Transformative Justice Coalition and a proud graduate of Duke University School of Law. As an inaugural recipient of a Cleo Edge Greater Equality Award in 2018, I'm beyond pleased to join you as we celebrate the 2020 Edge Award honorees. Think about it. What a momentous day this is. Like so many of you, I fought hard for this moment to come, as we are on the advent of a new federal administration. Organized lawyers up and down the country, organized law students up and down the country, and our work. We fought against voter suppression. We fought in the midst of a horrible pandemic. And look what lawyers did in protecting the right of citizens to vote. So proud of everybody who have brought us to this day. So thank you, Cleo, for the foresight of having this occasion, this event on this day, and for inviting me to participate tonight by giving everyone a little background about the Cleo Edge Awards and to announce our 5 outstanding award recipients. Established in 2018 in recognition of Cleo's 50th anniversary, the Cleo Edge Awards aim to honor deserving individuals, law schools, and organizations that have contributed to education, diversity, and greater equality. Talking about diversity, so happy to see that First Circuit opinion today in the Harvard case. What a great victory for diversity and for affirmative action. These 3 pillars, representative of the edge, are at the heart of Cleo's mission, which is to inspire, motivate, and prepare students from underrepresented communities to succeed in law school and beyond. For the past 52 years, Cleo has been on the front lines of breaking down barriers that can serve as roadblocks to fair and equitable opportunities, not only in the legal profession, but also in society as a whole. Significantly, more than 25,000 people have participated in Cleo's programs. Lawyers impact every aspect of American life, as we've just seen with this election and with so many other fights in this nation. And as Cleo continues its long-standing tradition of training tomorrow's lawyers, preparing tomorrow's leaders, we hope that each of you will support the organization's efforts to ensure that the face of the legal profession begins to better mirror the mosaic of this great nation. Our 2020 honorees are leaders in their respective fields and exemplify the spirit of Cleo's work over the last 52 years. So without further ado, I am so proud to introduce the 2020 Cleo Edge Award recipients. In the category of education, the honoree is Penn State University Dickinson Law School, located in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and that is Dean Daniel M. Conway. Next, in the category of diversity, the honoree is former U.S. Attorney and current University of Michigan Law School professor, Barbara McQuaid. And finally, all but not least, in the category of greater equality, the honorees are Patrice Collars, Alicia Garza, and Opal Tometi, the founders of Black Lives Matter. Whoa, one of the most powerful organizations in this nation, a transformative organization in every respect. Congratulations again to our award recipients whose full bios are in the event program. And now we will hear from the 2019 Cleo Edge Diversity Honoree, Justin Cruz, who will present the 2020 recipients with their awards.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Justin Cruz, Assistant Dean of Admission and Diversity Initiatives at Chapman University, Dale E. Fowler School of Law in Orange County, California. I am also a proud Cleo alumnus who attended the 2006 Attitude is Essential program in Los Angeles, California, and have supported Cleo ever since. I received the 2019 Cleo Edge Award for Diversity in 2019. In celebration of its 50th anniversary in 2018, the Cleo Edge Awards recognize individuals, law schools, and organizations that had demonstrated support for Cleo and its mission to increase diversity in the legal profession since its inception in 1968. 50 honorees received the Education Award, 50 honorees were given the Diversity Award, and 50 more were recognized for their efforts to promote greater equality. In addition, 20 recipients were awarded the Founders Award for their leadership in crafting the framework for the sustainability of the organization. It was quite an undertaking. Comparatively speaking, choosing only one honoree in each of tonight's categories was extremely difficult. Let's start with the first category, education. As stated by Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. The 2020 Cleo Edge Education Award recipient, Penn State Dickinson Law, exemplifies Mandela's statement. As the oldest law school in Pennsylvania, its mission is to prepare students to be leaders in the legal profession. The law school has been a Cleo partner since 1984, when they hosted their very first Cleo 6-week summer institute. They defined their core values as intellectual discovery and knowledge sharing, excellence in teaching and learning, and an indefatigable commitment to building and sustaining community. Accepting the award on behalf of Penn State Dickinson Law is Danielle M. Conway, Dean and Donald J. Farage Professor of Law. Dean Conway Congratulations.
At Penn State Dickinson Law, the values of diversity and inclusion are paramount within our intentionally small community. Under Dean Conway's leadership, we have made significant strides on this front. Students of color make up 44% of this year's entering class, double the percentage from last year. We are thrilled that this cohort includes 4 Cleo Pre-Law Summer Institute scholars who chose to make Dickinson Law their academic home. Our community applauds Dean Conway's efforts in co-curating the AALS Law Dean's Anti-Racist Clearinghouse Project, for which she and her co-collaborators will receive the AALS Inaugural Impact Award.
As the host of the 2020 Cleo Pre-Law Summer Institute, the pandemic required us to pivot from planning in-person instruction to delivering an entirely virtual program, a first in the 52-year history of the Institute. Our community conversation series, highlighting diverse experiences of faculty, Heritage Month programs, and robust wellness efforts are a few of the examples of how we are improving the law school experience for diverse students. Faculty and staff donated nearly $27,000 to create an endowed educational equity scholarship, which Penn State matched dollar for dollar. Our development team successfully engaged alumni in that matching program and also secured a $500,000 gift from a longtime donor to establish a leadership program focused on racial and gender equity.
While there is more work to do in service to justice and equality for all, our faculty launched a movement across 200 American law schools by being the first in the nation to unanimously pass a resolution condemning racism, challenging prejudice, and taking responsibility to teach and learn in accordance with anti-racist principles. To act on the resolution, our faculty immediately instituted a required race and equal protection of the law course for 1L students. On behalf of the Penn State Dickinson Law community, thank you for recognizing our commitment to education, the rule of law, and diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Diversity is the state of being of a different kind, form, or character. Former President Jimmy Carter once said, "We have become not a melting pot, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams." The 2020 Cleo Edge Diversity Award recipient, Barbara L. McQuaid, professor from practice at the University of Michigan Law School, has been recognized for her work in civil rights, having received the Tribute to Justice Award from the Detroit NAACP and the Arab American Civil Rights League. As a U.S. attorney from the Eastern District of Michigan in 2010 to 2017, she was a huge advocate of diversity in the legal profession. Professor McQuaid also serves as a legal analyst for NBC News and MSNBC. I am now pleased to present the Diversity Award to Professor Barbara L. McQuaid. Professor McQuaid, congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations to all of the other honorees, especially Stacey Abrams. Thank you for all the great work that you have done. I am deeply honored to receive this recognition from Cleo, but mostly I'm grateful for the important work that all of you are doing to improve the diversity of our profession. I truly believe that we are stronger and more effective when we utilize the talent and listen to the perspectives of every American. I learned that firsthand when I worked at the U.S. Attorney's Office. The value of having different perspectives and life experiences represented around the table helped us to make better decisions. When you have diverse viewpoints and you consider those viewpoints, you make better decisions. We would gather people around the table when we were making charging decisions and discuss the different perspectives about a case, because we were trying to replicate the different perspectives that would be on a jury. And it was really useful to hear someone say, in the neighborhood where I grew up, just because you run from the police doesn't mean you're guilty of a crime. Or when someone would say, in the country where I grew up, a lack of eye contact is not necessarily a sign of suspicion, it might be a sign of respect. So having those diverse perspectives helped us make better decisions for cases that we were bringing. I believe that that's true whether it's a U.S. Attorney's Office, a law firm, a law school, a court, or any organization. An organization is stronger and more effective when it reflects the community it serves. But improving diversity doesn't just happen on its own. Sometimes there's inertia, sometimes there's even resistance. And so we all need to work to open doors for young people, to show them the possibilities, to guide their path, to help them realize how they can tap their potential. And so I want to thank you, Cleo, and all of the lawyers who are working to improve the diversity of our profession. You are making a difference. The election of Kamala Harris as the first woman and person of color to be elected vice president is evidence of the progress we've made. But of course, we're not done. So we need to continue to do that work so that we can all move toward a more perfect union. Thanks so much.
Greater equality is a human tapestry, and to see it, you need to step back and look at it in a historical context. As we reflect on the last 52 years, we can easily observe the pieces that have been woven together towards greater equality in America. The 1960s brought the Civil Rights Movement and Title VII, followed by the women's movement of the 70s and gay rights movement of the 80s. The Americans with Disabilities Act was published in 1990, and the immigration movement gained momentum as we entered the new millennia. In 2013, demonstrating against the deaths of numerous African Americans shot by police or dying while in police custody, a new movement against police violence towards Black people began to take shape. Co-founded by three extraordinary, talented, and committed individuals, Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and Opal Tometi, Black Lives Matter served to eradicate white supremacy and build local power to intervene in violence inflicted on Black communities. The Black Lives Matter movement served as the largest movement in US history, with an estimated 15 to 26 million people participating. Cleo is pleased to present the 2020 Cleo Edge Greater Equality Award to Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, and Opal Tometi for their work, extraordinary vision, and commitment to an egalitarian society. With everyone's busy schedule, we are so fortunate to have Patrisse Cullors, who is able to accept the award on behalf of all three co-founders. Congratulations also to Alicia Garza and Opal Tometi.
Hi, my name is Patrisse Cullors, and I am the co-founder and executive director of the Black Lives Matter Global Network. I am grateful to have been selected to receive the Cleo Edge Greater Equality Award. Thank you all so much for being here to share in this occasion. I am so honored to have my work recognized in this way by the Council on Legal Education Opportunity. Many hours went into building the Black Lives Matter movement, and it means so much to me that the work that I am so passionate about also resonates with others. This accomplishment is not something that I did alone, and there are many others who deserve to share this award. I would like to thank the other two co-founders, Alicia Garza and Opal Tometi, who worked on building out this movement with me, as well as those who provided financial or emotional support and education or expertise along the way. I would also like to thank my family, my friends, and loved ones who've supported me along this journey. Thank you to all the Black Lives Matter chapters, especially Black Lives Matter Grassroots, who've been developing Black leaders on the ground for 7 years. Last but not least, thank you to Cleo for offering recognition to activists like me. I hope that this recognition of my work can serve as an inspiration to others. Remember, if my work can make a difference, so can yours. I will continue my efforts and look forward to bringing about positive changes in the United States and the world so that the lives of Black people really do matter. I am humbled and appreciative. Thank you and good night.
Thanks, Patrice, and congratulations again to all the winners. And now, Vicki Jordan Adams will make some remarks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Vicki Jordan Adams, and my father is Vernon E. Jordan Jr. He is the inspiration for this award this evening, the Cleo Edge Vernon E. Jordan Jr. Heritage Award and Civil Rights Scholarship. Dad sends his absolute best wishes to all of you and asks that I represent him this evening on this Zoom event. So thank you to the Cleo Board of Directors, the Advisory Council, and Honors Committee for allowing me to join you. My father is extremely proud of the relationship with Cleo, its mission of inspiring, motivating, and preparing students from underrepresented communities to succeed in law school and beyond. He wholeheartedly supports these efforts, especially the Civil Rights Scholarship, which is intended to provide financially challenged law students who, like my dad, are committed to advancing the civil rights of underserved communities. And this is such an important part of this legacy. Being here, making this evening's remarks, makes me feel as though I too am a part of the Cleo family. This time last year, my dad introduced and presented the 2019 Cleo Edge Vernon E. Jordan Jr. Heritage Award to Deval Patrick, former governor of Massachusetts, a well-respected politician, civil rights lawyer, author, businessman, and former presidential candidate. And here's something you may not know. My son, Jordan Adams, is following in his grandfather's footsteps and is a law school student, second year at Fordham Law right there in New York. He also attended Cleo's pre-law summer institute at Southern University Law Center before embarking on his legal career. So this is a Jordan family investment. Let's get to the real purpose of our evening tonight. This year's recipient is Stacey Y. Abrams. She is most deserving of this Cleo Edge Vernon E. Jordan Jr. Heritage Award as she blazes a trail ahead in the state of Georgia and throughout the United States. She's a voting rights activist, lawyer, politician, author, leader, inspiration. She is absolutely the best person to be in a leadership position during these difficult times. It is with both gratitude and love that the Jordan family joins you in acknowledging the accomplished career and commitment to civil rights and social justice that Ms. Abrams demonstrates. You could not have chosen a more exciting, more perfect candidate for this award this year. Please join me and my family as we pass on this legacy to this year's Cleo Edge honoree, Stacey Y. Abrams.
Hello, everyone. It is great to be here with you all tonight. Thank you, Vicki Jordan Adams, for your powerful words. My name is Robin Nunn. I'm a partner at Morgan, Lewis & Bockius, a graduate of the University of Chicago Law School, go Maroons, and a proud Cleo alum and Cleo Advisory Council member. This year, I have the honor of chairing this year's Cleo Edge Honors Program, and I am so excited to be here with all of you tonight. It has been a pleasure watching the remarks by Cassandra and Samantha and hearing the student testimonials. I'm all revved up after watching the recognition of honorees by Barbara Arnwine, and I loved hearing the remarks of our honorees, Penn State, Dickinson Law, Barbara McQuaid, and Patrice Cullors. And it is now my privilege to introduce the Honorable Congressman Sanford D. Bishop Jr., who will present the Vernon E. Jordan Heritage Award. As you all know, it has been a tough election season and all eyes are on Georgia right now. Our next presenter is Congressman Sanford D. Bishop Jr., who is the winner of the race for Georgia's 2nd congressional district in the November 3rd general election, which successfully secured re-election to his 15th term. Yes, you heard me correctly, his 15th term to the U.S. House of Representatives. So thank you all for voting. As a leader in Congress, Congressman Bishop has served on the House Committee on Appropriations, in addition to being the chair of the Agricultural, Rural Development, Food and Drug Administration, and Related Agencies Appropriations Subcommittee. Congressman Bishop also serves as the co-chair of the Congressional Military Family Caucus, the vice chair of the Military Construction, Veteran Affairs, and Related Agencies Appropriations Subcommittee, and is a senior member of the Financial Services and General Government Appropriations Subcommittee. Congressman Bishop graduated from Morehouse College and Emory University Law School. He is an Eagle Scout, a 33rd degree Mason, a Shriner, a life member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, and a deacon and trustee of Mount Zion Baptist Church of Albany. He also served in the U.S. Army, and thank you for your service to our country, Congressman Bishop. And like me, Congressman Bishop is a Cleo alum and participated in one of Cleo's first 6-week summer institutes at Emory University Law School. Let me just say that Congressman Bishop got Cleo off to a great start, exemplifying Cleo's motto, training tomorrow's lawyers, preparing tomorrow's leaders. Now I will turn the program over to Congressman Bishop, who will introduce our 2020 Vernon E. Jordan Jr. Heritage Award recipient, Stacey Abrams. Congressman Bishop, the floor is yours.
Good evening. It is my privilege to join you tonight in support of the Council on Legal Education Opportunity Incorporated. I would not be where I am in life today had it not been for Cleo at Emory University School of Law in 1968 through 1971. Thank you, Cleo. Stacey Yvonne Abrams, truly the steps of your life have been ordered by the Lord. You were born in Madison, Wisconsin. You grew up with your 5 siblings in South Mississippi and Atlanta, Georgia. You experienced the troubles, tragedy, and triumphs of a struggling African-American family trying to beat the odds against survival. You were nurtured and supported by parents who instilled in you the values of faith, self-worth, moral turpitude, hard work, the possibilities of education, and selfless service and sacrifice for others. You earned degrees from Spelman College, the Lyndon Johnson School of Public Affairs at the University of Texas, and Yale Law School. Best-selling author, entrepreneur, nonprofit CEO, and political leader, you have demonstrated through your career that service is the rent we pay for the space we occupy on this earth. Stacey Abrams, you have paid your rent, and you have paid it well. You served for 11 years in the Georgia House of Representatives, 7 of those as Democratic leader. You started the New Georgia Project and registered hundreds of new voters in Georgia. In 2018, you became the first Black woman to become a gubernatorial candidate of a major party in the United States, the first Black woman and the first Georgian to deliver the response to the State of the Union. After witnessing the mismanagement of the 2018 election by the Georgia Secretary of State's office, you launched Fair Fight to ensure every American has a voice in our election system through programs such as Fair Fight 2020, an initiative to fund and train voter protection teams in 20 battleground states. Over your career, you founded multiple organizations devoted to voting rights, training and hiring young people of color, and tackling social issues at the state and national level. In 2019, you launched Fair Count to ensure accuracy in the 2020 census and civic engagement, as well as the Southern Economic Advancement Project, a public policy initiative to broaden economic power and build equity in the South. Stacey, Last week, in large part because of your efforts over the last few years, new voters turned out in record numbers from coast to coast to change the course of our national government, resulting in the election of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as President and Vice President of the United States of America. Now, therefore, because you have demonstrated outstanding leadership in education, diversity, and greater equality in the legal profession and society, it is my privilege to present to you, in behalf of the Council on Legal Education Opportunity Incorporated, the Cleo Edge Vernon E. Jordan Jr. Heritage Award. Congratulations, and to God be the glory for the things you have done.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stacey Abrams, and it is such an honor to be here with you all tonight. I'm not certain what's happening, but as we all know, in 2020, Zoom has a mind of its own. But I want to say thank you to my dear friend, Congressman Sanford Bishop. Robin did him justice in her introduction of him. And I want to point out that he was one of the first congressmen to reach out to me after I became the Democratic leader. That was a dark year for our party, but it was an extraordinary opportunity for me as the first woman and to lead a party in the history of the state of Georgia, the first Black person to lead in the House, and certainly the first Black woman to hold that position. And it was Congressman Sanford Bishop who reached out, who helped me understand even more what needed to be done to serve his district, a part of Georgia that is desperately in need of good lawyers, good voices, and good leaders. But I'm here today to humbly and with great excitement accept the Cleo Award from Vernon Jordan. When I launched the New Georgia Project in 2014 to do voter registration, it came about because of work that I had done earlier. I became a voting rights advocate at the age of 17 at Spelman College. I'm the daughter of Robert and Carolyn Abrams, two civil rights activists who, as teenagers, were deeply involved in helping register Black voters in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. My father was arrested at the age of 14 for his work because he had the temerity to believe that when the Constitution gave the right to vote to Black people in Mississippi, that right should be made real. And so at the age of 14, he was part of an aggressive voter registration strategy, and unfortunately, he was arrested. We like to tease him that my mom was on the other side of Hattiesburg doing the exact same work. She just managed not to get caught. But what they raised me to understand, what has driven me for the last 30 years, is this fundamental understanding that the work we do with voting is deeply connected to the lives we lead as Americans, the lives we lead in a free republic and in a free democracy. My parents raised me to understand that even though we had less than many, we were the working poor, we still had an obligation to everyone to do our part every day. And so in 2013, I launched an organization called the New Georgia Project, whose responsibility was to travel through South Georgia, through the areas represented by the Honorable Sanford Bishop, reaching out to community members to encourage them to sign up for the Affordable Care Act. The ACA was a transformative law that was going to give access to healthcare to people of color and to Americans across the country, but in particular in this region of Georgia, where we had the highest poverty rate, the lowest insurance rates, and the deepest need. I started the New Georgia Project knocking on doors, hiring 65 folks from around that region to just explain what health insurance looked like, how to sign up, and why it mattered. But again and again, we ran into communities, into folks. A mother could sign up for the ACA, but her son could not because he made too little money. They needed Medicaid expansion and it was not available, and they wanted to know why. They assumed that it was an oversight on the part of President Obama with the Affordable Care Act. And I explained, no, this is a local issue. This is a decision being made by your state legislators, by your governor, and they need to hear from you that you feel left out, that you feel left behind. What I heard back in response was, well, who's my state representative? What does the governor do? These were not people who lacked civic engagement. These were people who'd been left out of the conversation and who despaired that they would ever be included. And so in the following year, I transformed the New Georgia Project from being in healthcare outreach to becoming an organization dedicated to registering the nearly 800,000 unregistered Black and Brown people in the state of Georgia, 600,000 of whom are African American. But before I launched that project, I did my research. I wanted to know, when was the last time a massive voter registration effort had been undertaken in the state of Georgia at the scale that I envisioned? And the answer was, it was done by none other than Vernon Jordan. Vernon Jordan, a son of Georgia, understood in his time how critical it was to give people the keys to power that begins with having the right to vote. He understood that it was more than just getting someone's name on a piece of paper and their signature on a form. It was about informing them about their power and enlisting them in their own success. That you cannot demand that people become a part of a society. You have to give them a reason to join. I read, again, his biography. Vernon can read. I'd received it a decade before, but it had new relevance to me, new salience. And I read that book cover to cover, thinking again and again, how do we do this in a way that it honors the work that he had done, that honors the work of so many like Vernon Jordan, of lawyers who had fanned out across the state of Georgia in the 1960s and the early 70s, determined to give the power of the vote to Georgians, especially to Black Georgians. And so when we launched the voter registration effort called the New Georgia Project, we went to 149 out of 159 counties. We registered and collected forms from 87,000 Georgians of color in less than 4 months. And we soon ran into the buzzsaw of a Secretary of State who, in a conversation with his fellow Republicans, said, "Do you see what Stacey Abrams is doing? They're registering all these minorities. This could be trouble." I paraphrase him here, but his intention was clear. And soon thereafter, we faced a phalanx, a barrage of legal challenges. Not that we were doing something wrong, but that we were doing it wrong. And the reality was, we were following the letter of the law. And as Cleo members, you understand how vital it is to hold the law accountable for justice. And so when he accused us of bad action, we returned it by saying, "You taught us how to do it." And it took several years, but we eventually were able to get every single one of our forms either processed or explained. It was through that process that we discovered the exact match system that was holding Black and Brown voters hostage. The same system that in 2018 would hold 53,000 voter registration applications in stasis, denying them the right to vote because the Secretary of State had put in place an unconscionable rule called exact match. But it's because of the law that I understood at each moment, at each obstacle, that because of my lessons, because of what I learned, and because of the incredible attorneys working with me, that we could fight back, that we were no longer going to be kept away from power because the powerful didn't want us there. That is the lesson of Vernon Jordan. That is the lesson of Cleo. That no matter what the obstacles are, the law is our friend. The law can be our weapon to beat back wrong. The law can be the shield we use to protect those who do not know they need protection. When we were able to believe enough in our efforts to register those voters, we became part of a gauntlet of voter registration organizations that swept the state of Georgia. Good Laws decided that we could get registered using HAVA, effectively the Help America Vote Act, but it took more than just the opportunity to register. It took the responsibility to understand what registration could mean, and it took the enthusiasm, the energy, and the engagement of meeting people where they are and helping them understand that they could change the future. And in November of 2018, we saw that future rise up. In that year, we received more votes from Black voters than in any time in the state's history. But just a few days ago, that record got shattered. Because what Vernon Jordan understood, what Cleo understands, is that these metrics and these markers are simply on the path to progress. I am so proud that so many more showed up, that so many more showed out, that so many more believed in their power and their capacity to change the future, that they came to the ballot box and they declared that they will not be ignored. I am honored to receive this award because it stands as testament to the work that is being done, not simply by me, but by those I work in union with. that I'm a part of a network of attorneys. Although I wasn't a Cleo scholar, I know a lot of you, and I'm proud to be among you in this way. But it's also being a part of a network of believers, people who believe that our right to this democracy is real, who believe our rights to the Bill of Rights is real, who believe our right to progress, to healthcare as a right, to affordable housing, to justice, to an environment that actually lets us breathe, and to a future that lets us dream. Cleo, every day you stand in the gap and you give people an opportunity to dream a little freer, to breathe a little more, and to believe that more is possible. It is with my deepest appreciation that I say thank you. I say thank you to Vernon Jordan, who took me under his wing a few years ago and hopefully will never let me go, and to the Cleo family for having me as a part of you. Together, we will get this done. We have done it before, we will do it again, because the future is ours. Thank you so much.
This is Elizabeth Campbell, catching my breath and getting ready to join you. Ms. Abrams, thank you so very much. We're trying to see now if the congressman who is here we can get the technology working. So I'm going to talk, and if I am interrupted, that is just fine if the congressman is able to join us. Ms. Abrams, I am Elizabeth Campbell. I am the proud chair of the Cleo Board of Directors. I am really moved beyond words to have this privilege. I think I speak with everyone that we are inspired by you and your work. We are encouraged by you and your work. And we are challenged to do our very, very best and to do more. So thank you so much for joining us on behalf of my Spelman mom and all the other Spelman alumni who are here with us today. Thank you. And I'd like to say congratulations to our other award winners. This has been just an outstanding program in these times, but to lift up education and the importance of education. Dickinson Law, thank you, congratulations. With the decision out of the First Circuit, which relied on the University of Michigan precedent, I'd like to thank my Michigan alum, Barbara McQuaid, and congratulate her on winning the Diversity Award. And for greater equality, the three co-founders of Black Lives Matter, Patricia Cullors, Alicia Garza, and Opal Tometi. Congratulations again. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of Cleo is grounded in our vision that the United States legal profession is truly diverse, equitable, and inclusive, and that it effectively balances the scales of liberty and social justice for all. Our future, our very future, is dependent upon the continued work and support, not just of our team, our staff, our board, our advisory council, but very importantly, the work of each one of you. The significance of the work of lawyers has been emphasized throughout this program, and it cannot be overstated. For the past 52 years, our success has been exemplified by that of our amazing students and alumni. And we're going to hear from just two more of them in just a moment. And following those testimonials, we'll bring our program to conclusion with final thoughts from our reception committee chair, Robin Nunn. So thank you to Cleo, the staff, everybody behind the scenes, to all of our amazing program participants. I'm pumped up, fired up, ready to go. Let's hear from our two students now. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Hi, my name is John Wilburn. I am a current 2L at Howard Law School. I attended the Cleo event at Southern University in 2018, and I think the program helped a lot in the way that I studied for law school and just overall practice for the environment, and made sure that everything was devoted towards taking the exam and taking the final. I think that the program overall is very influential because prior to going to law school, I was a temp in several different legal environments, just trying to see what I wanted to do moving forward. And there wasn't a lot of minorities in those environments. And I saw those same minorities in the Cleo event that I went to in DC. And it was just very impactful how small the community could be and how important it is to stay in touch and help others moving forward. But thank you for letting me be a part of the event.
Hi, my name is Amber Jackson. I'm a 2009 Cleo Fellow. I did my fellowship in University of Pittsburgh School of Law, where I graduated in 2012. Happy 52nd anniversary, Cleo. So excited to be here. Programs like Cleo are so important, not just to give resources to diverse people who are in law school, but also to provide support after they've completed their legal education. I try and stay connected with Cleo and give back and volunteer, but I look forward to the annual gala because I get to see the current Cleo class and get inspired and remember where I've come from, but then I get to see the Vernon Jordans who have blazed the trail ahead and encouraged me. I always leave feeling invigorated and inspired. So happy 52nd Cleo. I'm wishing you a lifetime of continued success, and I will be there to support in any way I can.
Greetings again, everyone. This is Robin Nunn, and I'm so very proud of the work of Cleo, our reception committee, and the entire team for producing this outstanding program. At 52 and counting, I think that Cleo's work is strong as ever and as relevant and necessary as ever. What an inspirational evening. Thank you to all the Cleo Edge Award recipients, Vicki Jordan, Adams, Congressman Bishop, and of course, for our Vernon E. Jordan's Award winner, Stacey Abrams. You were fantastic. My parents were civil rights lawyers who met in Mississippi taking the bar exam. I learned as a child that it is a long, hard road and we're going to have to fight. And fighting voter suppression is, something that is, important in all of our lives. During law school, I interned at the NAACP Legal Defense Fund in their voting rights section. While in law school, I had the former President Obama as a professor, and Vernon E. Jordan actually came and spoke at the law school. And we had the privilege of hearing words from him on civil rights and how hard we all have to fight and get out there and vote and ensure democracy for all. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge our Cleo CEO, Cassandra Ogden, who will be retiring at the end of this year after 25 years of service to Cleo. Thank you so much, Cassandra, for your leadership and stewardship of Cleo. We stand here today as a result of your efforts. Please stay in touch with us after this program. Our website is cleoinc.org. That's CLEOINC.org. With that, we will end our program. Take good care, everyone, and stay safe. And thanks again for joining us. Have a great evening.